Okay, we've got a 220 Swift carbon steel barrel here that hasn't been cleaned. Honestly, I don't know the round count on this barrel, and I don't know the round count since the last time it was cleaned. I can say, based on how often I shoot this rifle and the load development and stuff that I was doing, repairs that I was doing because the scope on it was garbage that had to be replaced, that this barrel might have 50 rounds on it from the last time it was cleaned. So this is the initial inspection of the barrel. You can see all the heavy carbon fouling, copper fouling, and you start seeing a little bit of salt starting to grow. The beginnings of corrosion in there. And this is a Green Mountain barrel. Adams and Bennett house brand from Midway, and it's on an 1891 Argentine Mauser. And yes, you can do that if you know what you're doing. Don't recommend doing that on some of the small ring Swiss Mausers, but the pressures that this gun was loaded to originally and the pressures that are in the 220 Swift are about the same. So as long as I keep my loads mild and don't buy any factory ammo, I'm good. So the next, this here is after using wipeout, patch out chemical with the accelerator and a Ioso blue nylon brush. So we start seeing some cleanliness in the throat area here, a lot of fire cracking, but that's normal, especially on bullets that are doing 3,800 to 4,000 feet a second. I have had this rifle shooting loads at 4,200 feet per second with a 50 grain bullet, so they were smoking hot. And again, you see that the Wipeout Patch Out did a good job of cleaning the bulk of the carbon out. We still have a tremendous amount of copper mid-barrel up toward the muzzle. And as we go through this, we'll see more steps as I progress through using Sweet 762, and then a new chemical that I have found to do wonders on, and I'll tell you about that in the next little segment here when we get there. But here comes the Sweets barrel entering in through the chamber, and you'll see coming up into the lands. Right there's the end of the chamber. I try to keep the bore scope centered so that you can get a good view of the beginning of the lands there, the throat area, and take a good hard inspection of it, what condition it is. And we see we still have a lot of carbon in the barrel, but we're removing the majority of the copper. The Sweets does a really good job of removing the copper, and I only let the Sweets sit in there for about 15 to 20 minutes. I do use a timer to make sure that it's not sitting in there longer than that. It does have ammonia, and it can cause corrosion on carbon steel barrels, and I don't know the practice of how bad it would be on a stainless barrel, but hey, just do what the manufacturer says and go on from there. So now this is going to be dramatically different. Look at the shine, look at the silver. It's almost like I polished the barrel. What could this be that I'm using? And I'll tell you, it's not some $10 per ounce whiz-bang gun product, you know. Snake Oil 2000 or something like that. This stuff here is about $3 a pound when you buy it at the grocery store. Yes, you buy it at the grocery store. You buy it at the in your home cleaning product aisle. It's called Barkeeper's Friend. There I find a defect in the barrel, corrosion, something. Find a couple of more of those in here. But Barkeeper's Friend is a product that's sold. It's a cleanser. Comes like in a can of Comet. It's oxalic acid, and that is a naturally occurring acid that's found in plants. And you actually ingest a little bit of it every time you eat salad or vegetables, whatever. But obviously not the quantities we're talking here for cleaning purposes. But this stuff works amazing on stainless, and it shreds carbon and grease right off of stainless steel like nobody's business. And it removes all the contaminations. In here you can see there's still some slight bit of copper streaking, but it's not terrible, and it's drastically better than what it was. So now the last one here is a product that I really like, and I'm starting to really warm up to this stuff. And this is right after, and this is all in order. I'm doing these all step by step by step. This is Ioso barrel cleaning paste, stuff that comes in the tube. It's some sort of chemical polish similar to like a Flitz or a Semi-Chrome or a Peak polish. It's not abrasive, but it does produce a good polish. And you see that the last bits of carbon and the vast majority of what little copper was left is all gone. There's a tiny bit of copper that just went by, and a little bit more and a little bit more. But you know what? There's another little bit of corrosion. Clean your barrel, dummy, and you won't have that problem. I left this barrel sitting for quite some time before cleaning it, so that's my fault. But this barrel only cost me $100, so I'm not expecting too much out of this. Not a big deal. But yeah, I just thought I'd show the results of this. This is a borescope. That's a Teslong borescope, one of the $50 units you get off Amazon. Man, they're an invaluable tool. So get yourself one and be prepared for the horror show when you're looking down the barrel and you find out that the barrel you thought was good is looking pretty close to a sewer pipe. It's shocking. Piece of advice on that I've got for you guys is, when you go and buy a borescope, don't freak out and when you see stuff in a barrel that's just ugly as sin. Borescope every firearm you've got and take a look. And take a look at them before you clean them, and take a look at it after you clean them, and start taking mental notes. And don't fret over your initial reactions to what you're seeing, because you really don't know what you're looking at yet as far as what is bad, what is good, and what is okay. You've got to understand what you're looking at first before you can start really making any drastic decisions on your cleaning habits and things of that nature, and what you're going to start working with. So anyway, thought I'd just post that. Thanks, guys. Take care.